Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today I'm going to be doing, as fast as I can, a quick little guide on what items I think that you should be upgrading and what items that I think are good in the game, and how to spend your item enhancers, but more specifically how to spend your super item enhancers, of which we only have 3 as far as I know. I don't know if we're going to be getting any in the future, but this is a common question I've been getting asked a lot lately, and I've got a pretty good grasp on what items I think are the best to upgrade and why you should upgrade them. And I know there's a lot of new players, and I know there's a lot of people looking for information, so I'm going to do my best to keep this nice and concise and dive through it. So I'm going to kind of quickly build out a list of the items that I think are like the best items, like the second best items, basically like tier listing it, but like the best items, the second group of best items, like the mid-tier items, and then the like not so good items. So let's quickly jump into that. So like for defensive items, I'm just going to kind of keep them clumped in categories. Some of the best items in the game are Buddy Barrier, Focus Band, and Score Shield. These items are incredibly valuable, very, very strong defensive items, and they are definitely worth upgrading to 20. We'll talk about super and item enhancers here in a little bit. As for offensive items, items that you want to use for damage, you have Scope Lens, Muscle Band, Razor Claw, Choice Specs, and the Weakness Policy, of which 3 of those items are now new, incredibly strong items. I almost want to throw Wise Glasses up here, and I am going to, because I do think that Wise Glasses has its really strong effect. Like it's good, it's great to have at 20. Keep in mind, all of these items, I think if you max any of the items I've listed thus far to 20, you're going to be in a pretty good position. You just have to know what characters to put it on. Wise Glasses takes a little bit of research. Like I said, I've made a video talking about Wise Glasses in the past, so maybe go check that out. I might link that in the description for you, but it's still a really, really good item. You just need to know who to put it on. All right, this next category of items, these are a little bit more niche, and that's almost where I maybe should have put Wise Glasses, but a little bit more niche, and items that are good, but you're just not really going to run them all the time. They're still good to get to 20, but I wouldn't necessarily focus them too much, depending on who you're playing. And I can't really spill all of that information into the video, but Energy Amplifier, good item, incredibly niche. EXP Share, good item, incredibly niche. And then we have these 3 scoring items, the scaling scoring items. You have Attack Weight, Aos Cookie, and the SP, or the Special Attack Specs. They're good items, especially Attack Weight. It's kind of probably the best one because there's a Lucario build that goes pretty well with it, and I'm not even sure if that's the best Lucario build, but these items are good. They bring a lot of value to the table, but you have to pretty much run them with a Score Shield, and you have to score 6 times to get the value, so they're just incredibly niche. As for Energy Amplifier, again, very, very niche. You only run it on like maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 Pokemon that I can think of, and EXP Share, really, really good for supports, but still, even then, you might run a Score Shield in place of that item or some other defensive items for supports. So all of those items are really, really good, and are they really niche? It's that third category. They're good, but I don't know, they're not great. They're just kind of there. As for the final category of items, they are just not good items. I really wouldn't put too much effort into them. If you're on a budget and you don't have a ton of item enhancers, I would steer clear of these items essentially. And let's go ahead and dive into that list. So you have the Rocky Helm, the Shell Bell, the Leftovers, the Float Stone, the Assault Vest. These items are just not very good. They don't bring a ton of value to the table. There's no one in the game that just, oh man, you have to have that item on them. Nope, not gonna happen. These items are just not very good. Wouldn't put too much effort into maxing them. I don't think I use a single one of those items on any build currently, and I'm not planning to. So in terms of those items even being in the game, you can basically pretend like they're not in the game. So if you're new to the game, I would ignore those items. Again, just not very good. All right, so you know what items are good at 20, and you do have to do a little bit of research and looking around to find out which items want to go on what characters. So you kind of have this weird subjective thing. Every single person's different, where you have to kind of find out what characters you want to focus on, or you just need to get a lot of the items that I listed earlier on in the video, the more valuable items, to 20. But let's talk about what items are best at level 30. All right, in my opinion, I'm going to be recommending 4 items to get to level 30. Now, I know we only have 3 item enhancers, so I'm recommending a 4th one because it is a bit subjective, and I do think that it's a decision that needs to be made. But let's go ahead and start with item number 1 that I think is really good at level 30. Buddy Barrier. Buddy Barrier is an amazing defensive item, one of the best defensive items in the game, and it is incredibly strong on supports and tanks. It's very strong on all-rounders. You can put it on some attackers, do very, very well with it. Essentially, you can put Buddy Barrier on just about everybody. I don't think that that's going to be the meta like anymore, we kind of used to do that in the last patch, but I don't really think that that's going to be the meta, but you can do it. It's an incredibly strong item. The difference between level 20 and level 30 Buddy Barrier is a net plus 200 flat HP. So, you're going into a game at, level 1, you have an additional 200 HP on you at, level 30 on the item. It's a great item. It's a solid item. You can't go wrong with this item, and I think that it's an item worth getting to 30. All right, the second item that I think is incredibly valuable at level 30 is the Muscle Band. This item is a percentage HP shred item on basic attacks, and what getting it to 30 does, increases the attack by a little bit, cool, but it increases the attack speed by a little bit more percentage as well. Now, increasing the attack speed is valuable because that flat 3% remaining HP shred is an item effect on the item, and while that doesn't change, the more attack speed you have, the more damage you're putting out because of that item effect. Now, the other reality too is that the more attack speed you have, the more boosted attacks that you're going to get. So essentially, it's not an amazingly huge benefit, but it is a nice benefit, much more so and much more valuable than other items at level 30 that I would be even kind of considering to recommend. So yeah, definitely a solid level 30 item that I would definitely recommend. More attack speed equals more damage because of the item effect equals more boosted attacks, which is again more damage. All right, the third item that I think is incredibly strong at level 30 is the Scope Lens. This item has crit hit rate percentage and crit hit damage percentage, so naturally percentages, when they go up, it scales the numbers behind them with it. So crit hit damage rate 6% and crit hit damage is 12% and crit hit rate is 6% at level 30. This means that this ties into the damage that you're able to do, ties into your chance percentage, your crit hit chance percentage, or the rate percentage, and ultimately this item is incredibly strong at 30. You're getting a lot more damage out of having this item at 30 than you would at level 20 because those percentages have climbed up a substantial amount. All right, the fourth item I'm going to recommend at 30, and again, this is the reason why it's the fourth one and not in the top 3, is because I do recommend that the other 3 items are the best level 30s, especially because items like Scope Lens, Muscle Band, and Buddy Barrier go so well on so many different types of characters. You can put them on speedsters for the damage items, attackers for the damage items. Buddy Barrier can go on basically anyone. All-rounders can run any of those items. Very, very good stuff there. But the fourth item is going to be Focus Band. Now, there's a specific reason. Focus Band isn't inherently much better at 30, but because you're so limited in how many items you can get to 30, I'm recommending Focus Band because Focus Band is another one it's an item very similar to Buddy Barrier where it's basically universal. You can put this item on anyone. Literally anyone. Speedsters with Focus Band, cool. You're going to have that good survivability in the early game. You're going to have good defense that's added to your character. Attackers, sure, go for it. Throw it on there. And for some attackers, I think it's optimal. For characters like Venusaur and Ninetales, I think that Focus Band is going to be a very, very big item choice for those characters. Very, very solid item to use. Again, I think that if you are planning, say you're very budgeted on your item upgrades and you're planning to play all kinds of characters, I don't think you can go wrong ranking up Focus Band to 30. For me personally, I actually spent some of my super item enhancers on some of the new items, and I'm okay with that, but if I could go back and do it differently, I would personally have ranked up Muscle Band, Scope Lens, and probably Buddy Barrier. That's probably where I would have put my value. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I hope that this information is concise. I hope that you feel like you got some good information out of it. Again, I can't deep dive too much on this one because it would take a lot of time, talking about why and what kinds of characters and where you should, you know what I mean? I can't do all that. I'm not here for the builds just yet. I'll be putting out build guides and more builds in the future, but I'm still learning the patch. But these items are going to put you in the right direction. I definitely am confident that I gave you some good information. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What are you planning to upgrade? What have you already upgraded? And, if other people agree with me, tell me, yeah, those are solid items, because, I would love for people to have comments that they can look to kind of corroborate my information. So, as always, friends, be sure to be kind to one another, tell someone that you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.